What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Menace, and today we are coming in with a banger of a video, a true hoot and a holler. Now, I know that this is the first time that y'all have seen this motherfucking face on one of these podcasts, and so I am so excited to bring to you the visual Menace After Hours pod. Let's jump in right with our guest, Obleak.
From the boots to the brim, we don't back down. We stand tall with that flag proud. Ain't no shame in red, white, and free. If you're looking for a fight, you found me. Got stars in my veins, stripes in my soul. Bald eagle glare when I'm taking control. No handouts, we built this land with grit, stained fists, and calloused hands. That freedom ink, I bleed it bold. On every dirt road, in every stronghold. I'm the spark, I'm the flame, the damn parade. I'm Uncle Sam with the renegade blade. I'm made in the USA, where the brave still rise and the strong don't stray. From small town roots to them city blocks. We don't run, we don't punch clocks. We build, we break, we rise again.
Yo, it's looking bleak.
Okay. I'm happy that we got this little intro in. That's very, very sick. I like it a lot.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing today?
Feeling marvelous.
You're feeling marvelous? Hey, that's awesome. So I do want to jump right the fuck in, okay? We have already done the intro. People have seen about 30 seconds worth of clips already. And so I want to jump right in and talk about what you specifically, I've seen on your channels and on your Instagrams and stuff, that you really take a hold of that horror identity.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to know where that comes from specifically.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's always kind of been a part of my life, to be honest with you. And I never really had an outlet, like, before I was Obleak, because we could take it back. And I always did the music. Like, I did metal and different things, and even when you're younger, just, like, experimenting. And I always loved the horror films, but I was never able to incorporate it into, like, my own things that I creatively create. Mm-hmm. But it comes back to originally my grandma when I was really little. She would just play like horror movies and stuff like that. And it was stuff that little kids probably shouldn't even watch. It was like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween 2, I'm trying to think, like Jason.
How old were you when this all was going on?
Probably like 3 or 4.
Oh,
or
damn.
something. Yeah, I was a pretty young guy, and I think it just always kind of shaped me, because that was like some of the first stuff that I saw, even like as far as film goes. That was kind of like some of the first stuff that I saw. So I think that.
So you were young, you were watching horror movies and such, and you really think that shaped your music career?
I think it shaped just kind of because I feel like everybody has their own eye for art, and you look at like the easiest and best example of this is like every individual artist, they got their own style. They're taking culture and reality and reflecting it back, because that's what art is. But if you look at everybody's album arts, they even kind of have a different style. So I feel like it kind of just reflected how I want people to see my art and how I project it.
Okay.
So it's like a projection thing. Because I could have ended up liking these colors or this style of musics, like that weren't as like evil sounding, you know what I mean? So I think that would have shaped where I went with this. I could have ended up making more like hip hop, like Guru or something like that, as opposed to like necro.
Okay. Now, when your actual style is necro, correct?
Yeah. Well, what I do, he was a huge influence to me, and I think we all got our own styles and everything, but I think he was just a big influence to me as far as a lot of things go with hip hop, but also he was just a huge metalhead, and he ended up getting into hip hop, and then I never really thought I'd link up with him because I never really thought I was ever going to make hip hop. I was in metal bands and stuff like that for years, and it didn't work out. And then I was just like, I want to do something on my own. So then he ended up messaging me on my first Obleak page before it got like taken down or something like that. So he was trying to promote what he had going on with some new single or something like that. And I was just hitting him up. I was like, yo, would you do a feature? So we just started chopping it up. And at first he didn't think I was serious and everything, because I just had like 300 followers. He's like, yo, you better not be playing me. So, but yeah, so I linked up with him actually first.
Really?
But yeah, when I like first started, it was like probably almost 3 years ago. I think it was the summer of, or actually it wasn't even the summer. I think it was like the beginning of the year 2023
Okay.
when I first linked up with him. And he's actually one of the first hip hop cats that I ever even connected with. And it's just so crazy because he's on such a level that I was just blessed enough to be able to come into his path. And then I ended up linking up with Mr. Hyde. And it's just crazy because if I wouldn't have talked to Necro, then I probably never would have linked up with Hyde. And me and Hyde ended up becoming pretty good pals. We talk a lot, and he's very Italian. I have a feeling that some of our ancestors knew each other in New York and shit like that. We can get into some of that later too with the history of the Canzaneri family and all that. But yeah, I think that when going back to what your initial question, because I kind of went off on a tangent, but
You're all good.
so I make death rap, I make underground hip hop. I feel like it all kind of fuses together. Like I don't just only do that kind of style. So, you know, like, yeah, it sometimes it sounds similar to Necro and stuff like that. And I love to be able to be put in that category with those dudes, because even when you look at like similar artists on my Spotify and iTunes, it says like Mr. Hyde and all that. So it's an honor, and it's dope to be in the same group. Subgenre is a good word. It's an honor to be in the same subgenre as those dudes, just because they were some of my biggest influences. And my engineer, Albert Charlemagne, shout out to him, really good friend of mine. We were just talking last night and everything, but he's their engineer. He used to be posted up in Brooklyn, you know, so he had everybody coming through. He's done like D12 with Eminem.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he engineers like Bizarre and stuff like that.
Now the metal aspect, I didn't know that you were a part of a metal band before.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that influences you with your hip hop career today?
Oh yeah, definitely, because I wanted to be in a metal band. My dad was dying. I was going through different jobs and shit like that. So it was just like a hard time in my life, and I was looking for a different job because the job I was at just wasn't working out for me. I was at Starbucks and shit. And they were just like, it was dope when I first started because I was able to get a bunch of tattoos and all that shit, but that kind of company, they just use you. It's like, how do I put this? It's like, they're like the type of company where like, I don't have a problem with liberals, but it's like so liberal, it's like crazy. It's like bizarre. So I didn't really want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
so I left and got a job at Guitar Center. I took a pay cut, but I was like, oh, it's going to be cool. And linked up because people just come into the store. It's just all day long, every day. Different people are coming in, different styles of music for anything. So it was just like the hub to kind of get connections and shit. Instead of going to like networking parties, conferences, and events, you know, I'm not going to go to NAM in California. I'm not going to get on a plane. So it was just kind of like the closest thing. So it was just people that came in, knew other people. And one thing led to another. I was like, oh, I do metal vocals. And I got in this band. It was kind of cool. And I guess they were kind of locally popular. I'm not going to drop the name because I got kind of like some drama with those dudes and shit. I kind of like ended it because they just didn't want to take my advice and all that. And it wasn't really professional and shit. You know, I wanted to take it to the next level. Like what I do with Obleak, I wanted to nurture that project like that and really take it to that level. But it's just with too many people involved, and the drummer was trying to control shit. But yeah, so that was cool. So we got into that. We did a lot of cool shows. Worked with different people like Frankie Palmieri from Amir. Some of those shows were fun. I think about it still. I miss it. But then again, you know, it's like the dynamics of working with people, so you can't really go back to that because I'd have to work with those people. I find a different metal band and shit. But so that kind of influenced me, and I was always a metalhead, just like a fan of metal. So it was cool to finally do it And now that I do this, it's kind of like just full force, like whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter at this point. It's like, I'll do a track like what I showed you in the car,
which was awesome.
It's coming out next year. But shit like that. It's like you just do whatever you want because I don't need to answer to anybody. You know what I mean? So but yeah, definitely it plays a huge role, and I feel like that hardcore aspect. Because sometimes you listen to some of my beats, and the way that the snare and the kick hit, it's just got this like violent feel to it. Even though there's no metal guitars and there's not like blast beats and shit like that, it still kind of makes you want to bang your head.
Have you ever rapped on top of a metal beat? Because I feel like that would be so sick, especially for your style.
Well, that's coming next. So I'm working with some different people. Shout out to DJ Gruesome and shout out to Zodiac out of Arizona. But yeah, we're working on some shit. It's probably going to come out like next 2 years. And I'm working with a real drummer, but it's going to be like Peeling Flesh, Vader, just like really extreme metal. And we're going to rap over it.
That's awesome.
So I am going to do that. It's funny that you mentioned that. But yeah, that was kind of the next step. It's like coming out of the cocoon because I had my engineer kind of produce a lot of the metal stuff that I showed you that has actual trap beats, hip-hop beats, stuff like that. So now we're like, let's go full force and make all the instruments legit and just see what we can do with it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, using all of those different instruments, especially with the hip-hop genre and a metal genre, you're opening up the door to so much possibilities, especially with hip-hop. You got West Side, you got East Side, all that stuff, with all those different unique sounds. And then introducing the metal aspect, I feel like that's where your sound is so unique, is because of the adaptability of your music. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I'm going to tie a few of your questions together now because the point you made is really good. So that's the thing. And that's what inspired me when I was seeing Necro do this. And he's got tracks with vocalists from metal bands. He did a track called Push It to the Limit. And he's done a few tracks like that where it's like metal straight up and he's just rapping over it. And then Hyde's done a few things like that too, I think on some of his older albums as well. So they love that shit. But that's why like that kind of like pushed me to think like, hey, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Just if you like it, do it, combine it. I saw other people combining the genres, so I was like, I know I can do it, but I also didn't want to like bite anybody's style and shit. So that's why I'm trying to incorporate like newer styles of metal, because I feel like a lot of the other cats that were doing it, they're older. They were influenced by like mainly thrash metal, 90s death metal and shit. So I want to kind of take a different influence, like beat down, slam, like Peeling Flesh, shit like that. And just like, I mean, that's kind of the same thing with music and science. We stand on the backs of everybody else that created an idea before us and we expand on it. And that's, I think, the beauty of this in how, Necro started it. He expanded on it. Now somebody like me is going to take it to the next level, make it more extreme and violent than it even was before.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, with your actual lyrics, I know you just came out with Dark Shadows LP, which was very good.
Out now.
Yeah, very, very good. I was kind of blown away. My favorite was the, what the fuck is the song called? It's the second song on the track.
Oh, Life Sucks and Then You Die?
Yes, that one was pretty good. I was bumping to it in the car. I was like, oh yeah.
Life sucks and then you fucking die. You went to McDonald's and found a finger in your fries.
Yeah, so I mean, that whole album, like, I want to know, what was your inspiration for Dark Shadows? Did you have any?
Yeah, definitely. It kind of goes back to the first thing I was talking about when I would be with my grandma and she would watch me during the day. There was this show. It was like a soap opera, but it was called Dark Shadows. It was like an old show. I don't know if you know about it because it's like, it was on like Me TV and shit. Yeah. But it's about this vampire in, I think, Hollywood, but Barnabas. And so I just kind of took that idea. I wanted to flip it. And just, I had a lot of things that were unfinished. Cause like, if you listen to my first two full albums that I did by myself, like not including the group albums, like Brothers Grimm, rest in peace to Cascade and everything. But like off my first album, I got that Lawrence Talbot track. So on this new album, like 3 albums later now, I'm like, let me do a second part to it. Because the first track is just really me talking about Lawrence Talbot, like the whole story of the werewolf itself. And then in this track, it's really me talking about Ghost of Frankenstein, not Son of Frankenstein, excuse me, but Ghost of Frankenstein and Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. So it's kind of like concept tracks mixed in with my normal, just regular street shit that I'm talking about and different things I went through. Because you'll hear tracks like Frankenbleak, which is like a complete concept track, and then you got tracks like Concrete Slippers, where I'm talking about some real shit, and then you got like Gore-Tex from Nonfiction and shit like that. And you'll also notice too, when I'm doing a lot of the concept tracks, I don't really have a lot of features. It's kind of just me talking and trying to build up on a storyline.
For sure. Now, do you actually have that storyline built into each of your albums?
I try to, and that's the thing. I think it's, with this album, this Dark Shadows album, I tried to do something different, and I tried to make the whole album more of a concept, because before it's like individual songs are more the concepts. And with this, I was like, I want to kind of give the track listing a concept, like everything down to the art, and try to make it all kind of tie together. Like, even if you look at the track names, like track 6, chapter 6, track 11, chapter 11, bankruptcy. So I tried to make it kind of like chapters in a book, kind of like you're reading a horror novel, like Geiger or something like that, like Cthulhu or anything like that, I feel like. But yeah, and I would like to do that more. And I think with some of these metal albums, it's kind of cool too, because it kind of gives a blanket theme. So the more we get into that, there's going to be a general theme to that, just because of the way it sounds too. It's so violent and shit.
Now, do you feel like you're always going to maintain that same genre aspect, that hip hop and metal like kind of conversion, or do you think that at some point, maybe 10 years down the line, you will switch up?
Well, I mean, I've already kind of switched up a few times in the last 10 years, and I feel like this was kind of like where I'm gonna stay.
Okay.
Just because of different reasons. I feel like it's just comfortable. I'm my own boss. I'm working with others, but we're all our own entities. And I just feel like this is the 5th year that I've been recording Obleak music, but I think only the 3rd year that I've actually been dropping shit. So I've been working on it for like half a decade, just like getting it all ready before I even dropped that first album, before anybody knew me, filming all those videos and stuff. So I think this is probably it for me. I don't see any major changes, just because I'm already how old as a man and shit. I'm not gonna probably reinvent myself again unless I like have a midlife crisis and I start wearing fucking Uggs and skinny jeans like Fat Joe in my 50s. You know what I'm saying? It is some shit like that. But yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, with this kind of genre, I mean, online hate is kind of everywhere. However, I feel like you would kind of experience it a little bit because people don't understand the vision. Does that make sense? Do you experience that at all?
Oh yeah. And that's the thing, like with any art, you go to like an art museum and some people go and those famous paintings where it's like a big painting and there's like a fucking yellow dot in the middle of it. And people look at it, they're like, that's fucking stupid. I could do it. But you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that really it's just a disconnect of people not understanding creative visions and how we're reflecting the idea, or people thinking, oh, this dude, he's on a track talking about sling blades, so he must be fucking crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta go home and kiss my daughter and shit. So it's like, it's all creative concepts. Fat Joe literally said that in an interview. He's like, half the shit I wrote for most of my career, it's not true. I woke up and that's how I was feeling that day, to literally quote his exact words. So I feel like, people are going to take it how they want it. And my personal opinion of hate anyways is like, okay, if people are going to talk shit about me, it's not even really my business. As long as it's not bothering me, impeding my progress, or my, success, or they're not saying it to my face. You know what I'm saying? But I've noticed, and I don't know, it's my tie-in with a new question, there's a lot of AI hate. So I don't know if you were going to go into that direction.
Oh, shit. Can you elaborate a little bit? Because I wasn't.
Well, I mean, because I started using AI really to save money on content, just like video promo, shit like that. And there's just a large group of the population that's so against AI, and I get it because it's, and I don't know if it's directed towards AI art, but AI is taking people's jobs and this and that. But I mean, you could look at the Industrial Revolution and like what happened with automobiles. People were using oil lanterns and fucking horse and buggies, and then they had to think about that. They're using dirt roads for all their horse and carriage. All of a sudden, you got to fucking make an all new infrastructure. You got to make roads now. You know what I'm saying? You got to put foundation into the ground and do all you got to do for that. And so it's the same thing with AI. People don't understand. You're gonna have to build the foundation. Society's gonna change. Shit's gonna get uprooted. It's political. It's cultural. But it's the fourth turning. There's nothing anybody can fucking do about it, because the people that are in control of all this shit are so wildly powerful and wealthy that even if we made as much money as we could our whole lives, we'd never fucking amount to the money they have and what they're spending on it. So it's just not going to stop. So I feel like the hate, it's like, I get it. People feel passionate, but it's not stopping. It's not going anywhere. And it's only going to get worse. So you might as well embrace it. And I've seen a lot of people, even my peers and shit, saying stuff, and I just try to stay out of it because I got to run my business and I got to do what I got to do. But I've got a lot of random people too, because you make an ad on something, you're trying to advertise your stuff. And I got mad people just saying AI slop, this and that. And it's not even bullshit. Like, this is like top quality content. You could throw some of it on in the edits and shit like that, or I could send you some and you could put it in there. But I just think it's a mentality, and it's a complete shutdown of acceptance of that. So that's been kind of a problem, but I just get rid of the comments. It's kind of like that. Like, I treat, now that I have a daughter, I kind of treat people online like children. You can't give a child the option to do something you don't want it to do. You don't even make that an option. So I just take the fucking comments off. People don't even need to comment on it. You know, you're going to click on my links and you're going to do what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, whether you comment on it or not, like, what does that really do for me? Now, have you? Now, I'm a firm believer, okay, that AI is not going anywhere. It's going to stay where it's at. It's not going to change. Well, it's going to change. It's going to evolve. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not regressing at this point.
Yeah,
okay?
That's a good word. It's not regressing. Now, people are going to ask, how fast is it going to progress, take over? I don't think it's going to happen as fast as all these people that are hating on it are saying, because even Ford, they were using AI just recently for their plants, for their quality control and everything. They got rid of it. They had to hire real people again because it was messing up their production plants and stuff like that. So I don't think it's as far along as they're saying. I don't think it's close to being sentient. I don't think it's going to wake up like Wall-E anytime soon.
Not at all.
It
Not at all.
But we will have a garbage planet like Wall-E before the robots can think. That's fucking for sure.
And that's where that kind of whole idea comes in. Is okay. AI, I mean, I feel like people need to embrace it. I get it that, there are the statistics that AI uses like, 20,000 gallons of water a day or some shit. Like, I get that aspect. I understand that aspect. But the people on top don't give a fuck about that, and they're just going to hire people who know how to use AI. So the best thing you can do right now for any, 14, 15, 16-year-old, learn how to use ChatGPT.
Yes. Learn
how to use all that shit. Learn how to make AI videos, because right now that might not be the necessity, but in 10 years, that's going to be the necessity of, can you function with AI?
Yes.
Can you work alongside AI? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that like affects your music? I know that you use it for music videos and stuff like that to cut costs and stuff. Like, do you use AI to help you make music?
No, I would never do that. I don't think, because that's, I think the fun of making music and the creativity, I would never let, I guess to backtrack, I think of AI like a personal assistant. Like I was talking to my engineer about this. Shout out to Al, because we were laughing about this. Jarvis from Iron Man.
Yeah.
That's what AI is. It's Jarvis in your pocket. I mean, it's on our phones and everything. And to go back what you were saying about the data centers, you're right. The most powerful people in the world, is government deals and all this shit. It's gonna keep happening. Do I think it's slightly alarming how many data centers are popping up in the United States? It is a little alarming just because I don't think it's really about the data centers. I think it's about them grabbing land and resources because they're taking a lot of water from like people's towns, and a lot of this stuff that's going to happen. They're going to take resources with pure immunity from the government, and they're going to take people's resources and shit like that. And it's going to drive water bills up. It's going to drive electricity prices up because all these data centers are essentially getting it scot-free on the government's dime. But I think that just everybody's got to stay intelligent and informed on the matter, because it's going to keep happening. But as long as we kind of like fight back and speak about it and shit like that, you have some reform within that in the government and shit like that. But I think that kids need to use AI. I don't think that people should use AI as a crutch, though. I think you should use it as a tool, like I was saying, like Jarvis, like how he's like, pull up a map or this or that, kind of like how we already do with our phones and Siri and everything. If you think about it, Siri's just kind of like one of the first early models of some sort of AI that you're talking to in your pocket. But I feel like these kids are going to need to know how to use it. Otherwise, they're going to fall behind. You know what I mean? You're going to be like that guy riding a horse and buggy when everybody's driving the Model T.
Yep.
And that's really where it's going.
Yep, and that's exactly where it's going, because I have friends who, yell at me because they're like, you shouldn't be using AI. You shouldn't use AI. And I'm like, okay, cool. But come back and tell me that in 20 years. Tell me that in 20 years when we're sitting here and everything is AI. It's already taking over most corporations. And I don't mean that like it's taking jobs. I mean like help centers. How many websites do you go on now where there's a little small little help button with a question mark and you click it and it's like, I'm your AI chatbot, whatever the case may be. It's not going nowhere.
No, and they're also different businesses. They're using AI like pre-screening. So like, let's say you want to get a job somewhere like insurance or sales or something like that. I feel like these bigger companies, they're using AI to pre-screen people because they got thousands of applicants. So they're not going to look at everybody's application. They're just going to be like training the AI to look at specific people that have like the most credentials. Really.
Yep. Yeah. Give me out of these 1,000, out of this 1,000 applicants, find me the top 10 with the highest degree. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's kind of scary because now you're not getting hired based off of your personality or what you can provide to the company. You're getting hired off of what AI thinks is useful to the company.
That is true.
So I do think that there are positive and negative sides. I agree with you, though, that it is a personal assistant. It is just like Jarvis. I was using AI to prepare for this episode. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like, it's one of those, like, that helps me. You know what I mean? In things that I might not be the best at, or you use it for music videos. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Because
it saves so much money because so you gotta pay for the subscriptions. Same thing with like UFC. It used to be like $80 every fight card, like the main fight cards. Now it's like you pay $15 a month on Paramount. So it's like the same thing. You're paying for these different things, so you get it, and then it's like, well, I'm still saving money because I'm spending like $800, $1,200 on a music video as opposed to $16 a month for some subscription.
Yep.
And then you just use that and time it out like, okay, now I know I got this many credits to generate AI. I'm going to do this many promos, and I'm going to do this much shit that's real, and just kind of like intertwine it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I mean, have you ever worked with like a director and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah. So like, dude that does a lot of my videos, Akash, on all the socials, it's Today is a Movie. So like TikTok, Instagram, Today is a Movie. But he kind of like directs. I mean, we kind of direct together. I kind of like direct my own shit. I kind of like that though, because when I'm putting together videos, it's not like I got a team of people or a label and they're like, this is the idea we're thinking for your video. That Oliver Tree dude that died, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
You look at some of his videos, he had record labels involved. I don't think all of that was purely his ideas. Probably you got like PR teams and shit behind you saying, this looks good, wear green. Mm-hmm. People like green algorithmically, shit like that. So I kind of do whatever I want, and I like that because I'm like, I got this vision. Like with the music video for Life Sucks and Then You Die, I was like, I really want to fucking kill myself in this video. How are we gonna do it? So I went and got the dummy and we did all that. But
So you actually used a director and like actual stuff for the Life Sucks Then You Die.
Oh yeah, because we usually do like storyboards for the plots. We kind of have like, and I mean, I like to be spontaneous too. We'll come up with random scenes, and some of the funniest shit's just like random. Like the beginning of that video, I didn't think about it. Everything I said was like all completely improvised, pretty much just like this interview. But so usually we have a storyboard and we kind of go through it because it just makes things go easier. And then if we have the storyboard too, sometimes we got to do like guerrilla filming where we're going to go places that you're probably not supposed to film, or, you know, you're going to get harassed by the police and shit like that.
Have you ever gotten harassed by the police?
Yeah, when we were filming, there's a couple times. And, when we were trying to film a music video, I'm trying to think of what it was for. I think it was for one of the videos off Dark Shadows. Either that or it was for Don't Be Afraid. But I remember we went into Forest Preserve and a cop followed us and shit like that. But they're sketchy too because he took our IDs. We didn't even, there's no cause of a crime. There's no suspicion of a crime. He was running our IDs. And then I went and looked on Google after the fact. I'm like, I don't really know my rights even. This dude did that. You can't constitutionally. And I got the Declaration of Independence right here, and it's the 4th of July, but so...
Happy 4th, guys. This episode will release on the 4th. Happy 4th of July.
I stole this right from Washington, D.C. I got it right here. But I might smoke it later. But yeah, so he ran our IDs, and you can't do that, so...
Why not? Like what do you mean constitutionally?
So constitutionally, if the cop doesn't have suspicion of any sort of crime that's happened, they can't just find a crime once they've already come in contact with you. And they can't run your ID to do a background check on you unless there's already a suspicion of a crime. So essentially, to break the situation down, cop walked in the woods, followed us, harassed us, ran our identities when we were on a path.
Like a forest preserve
like
path?
A public path, yeah. And and then he's like, "You can't be back here. There's no signs saying anything anywhere." So yeah.
Wait, why? That makes no sense. Yeah. I mean, if it's a public path, there's no I mean, unless it was at night. That's the only thing, because they might have like a dusk till dawn sort of thing.
It's intimidation. That's what it is.
And that's a big thing with law enforcement. They do like to intimidate. You know, I support law enforcement. You know, I think that that they are there to serve and protect. But some of them, man, will just be dicks just to be dicks, you know?
Oh, yeah, you got those boss hog dudes, and it's just like those cops that they don't give a shit their ways. It's like that song, I Am the Law by Anthrax. I am the law. But, yeah, just, you know, coming in contact with all those people. So I think that we do shit fast now, so we don't even bring speakers. We used to bring speakers, and it would bring more attention to us when we were filming these videos. And now we just have... like wireless earbuds, you know, like the ones that you use when you jog, they kind of like go around your ear. It looks like some Secret Service shit. So we split one. I'll take like the left or the right. He takes the other one, and I'll just play the song off my phone, and we'll just go anywhere and film it, and it's quiet, and we're done in 2.5 minutes because we just do like one take and we're out of there. So I like to call it guerrilla promotion. We jump out the fucking car, film it, we're gone before you even have time to fucking call the police.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What was the craziest place that you ever filmed?
Craziest place I ever filmed. I don't know about crazy. I just think that like a funny situation, like what I was talking about, we had the earbuds and we were in downtown East Dundee filming the Boombox Soldiers music video featuring Illa G. And we put them in, and it was like a Saturday or something, and it's over by the Fox River in East Dundee, and we were in between the Emmets and the Village Squire in the parking lot by a brick wall, and there's all these people, and they're just sitting, having wine and cheese at some little bistro or something, and we just fucking walk up. And they can't hear the music that we're listening to, so all they see me, I look like fucking Charles Manson, just go. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just funny shit like that, and then I think about it, like, people are probably like, their whole day is jarred because they're like, that dude was fucking weird. What the hell?
He was tweaking. He was out there fucking. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, does that bother you? Because I mean, that's something that bothers me a little bit. Especially, I've always wanted to be a film director. I have a tattoo, you know, that commemorates that. You know, that's kind of why I do this shit.
Hell yeah.
You know, but like when I was when I was filming and stuff for my film career or whatever, I would always get a little like nervous, like filming in a public place, you know, cars driving by and shit. And you look at a guy with a camera on the side of the road filming something, you always kind of immediately are like, wow, that's a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean?
You see all those government auditors, and they're always getting arrested and shit because they're filming in front of like courthouses. So it's one of those things where there's always that degree, and so I used to have that too, especially after I ran into that situation, because I was just like, people are gonna watch, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. But it's kind of like when you're like first learning how to have like a stage presence, and you just kind of have to get over that internal feeling that you get when you're being watched by people. And now, I mean, I've been performing ever since like a little boy. I used to do like plays and shit when I was like a little kid and stuff. So I've been on stage in front of people for more than half my life. You know what I mean? Like 3 years or something. So I'm just so numb. And I just also, I mean, look at me. I don't care what people think about me. I mean,
Absolutely. I mean, that's awesome. And you really shouldn't. You know, that's my advice to everybody is you shouldn't give a fuck. Like, people are going to judge you. People are going to people are going to voice their opinions. You know, I get hate comments even. You know what I mean? And
it's going to happen, but I mean, you need it because it kind of teaches you how to put on horse blinders and just keep going. So, like, when I was filming and all those people are watching me, and this, like, I'm just only focused on like thinking about how my video is going to turn out. Like, I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm thinking about the finished product in my head, and that's it. And then also it's just kind of funny. Like, I like messing with people's heads like that. It's like Tom Green shit. Like, I'm at the point where I'm beyond numb to it, and I like want to instigate. It you know what I mean? Like some Eric Andre shit. You know, like,
for sure.
They don't even know what's going on. People are like, what's going on here?
And if you switch your mindset from, oh my God, they're judging me, to, oh my God, they're actually giving me attention. I mean, that is a total switch up, and you feel it. You know what I mean?
And I mean, they say it, and I mean, it's not always true, but mostly it's true. Even bad attention is good attention. I mean, you look at that Palm Beach Pete.
Yeah. Yeah.
That dude has profited so much, and that's probably like some of the worst attention. Oh, this guy's Epstein. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, like, why is he getting famous for that? Yeah. Like, could you imagine if that guy came out and he was Epstein? Like, they did a DNA test or something?
Well, that's something that I've been kind of following here. Breaking news on your pies. It's not breaking news, but so that Palm Beach Pete, he's running for the mayor of Palm Beach.
Yes, he is. Yes,
and he sent his DNA to a federal testing place because all these people online were like, you're Epstein, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, I have nothing to hide. Screw it. I'm going to get a DNA test, and I'm going to put it to rest for good. You know, I'm sure this dude's been terrorized and shit like that just because of the way he looks. And I'm sure people are harassing him. She's like, you're Epstein. Like, and he's getting all the hate for this dude that's, I don't think is dead, but now gone. So.
You don't think Epstein's dead?
No. We can get into that in a minute, but yeah, I don't think he's dead. I think they fucking switched him out. Because if you look at the picture of his dead body, the ears are different. If you look at the shape of his dead body and you look at pictures of Epstein,
I'll pull it up in post. I'll have it.
You pull up the pictures. There's pictures of his ears. The shape of his ears are completely different. When you get asphyxiated, your ears don't change shape. They're made out of cartilage, so it's a different person.
Whoa!
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Conspiracy theory. I mean, I don't know. I don't think. I think Jeffrey Epstein, if he's not dead,
he's not dead. He was a spy for some country. They got him out. They're hiding it. It's like witness protection. They're gonna kill your image, but they're not gonna kill you. He's too valuable to
as
them.
a person. Yeah.
He knows too much, you know. So I think that's why they made it look like he died.
Damn. I mean, I haven't heard that take. I haven't heard that he has fucked up ears in the photo either.
I mean, the calling card's the ears. Because at first I was like, oh, he fucking offed himself. I mean, what kind of life are you going to have in maximum security prison fucking playing checkers with Sam Bankman-Fried all day long?
Especially as
Diddy. Just sitting there counting bottles of baby oil with Diddy and Sam Bankman-Fried playing checkers. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. I mean, when I saw the ears, that's when I was like, You can't.
They're really that. I haven't seen the photo yet.
Completely different shaped ears. Like you look at the inside of my ear, and I've got grooves and shit. Completely different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so like going back to what you were saying about the image, that Palm BP, like that dude got all that negative hate, but it still helped him make all that money and shit.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because once you hit kind of a certain thing, people are talking shit, but they're still giving you their attention. So that's what I tell like younger people is like, they're hating on you, but they're still wasting their own time to hate on you, even though you're going to like block them or delete it or just laugh at it. So really at the end of the day, you win because they're giving you their time despite their hatred.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. I mean, you think about the Hawk Tuah girl.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's a whole nother... That girl was like just a normal person, member of society, whatever.
And then she spit on that thing.
And now she's a fucking millionaire.
And then she did the crypto scam, and it fell down on everybody.
Really?
Yeah,
What was the crypto scam?
All these famous people, they start like a cryptocurrency, and they get a bunch of people to invest in it, and they're like, oh, the stock's gonna skyrocket, and then it just fucking plummets, and it's like a cash grab, and all the people that invested money in the Bitcoin, they just lose it, and the person, for instance, like Hawk Tuah or whoever it is that made it, they could like walk away with all this money.
Oh, because they focused on the downhill.
Well, because it was a cash grab, so they all invested the money because they thought it was gonna be something, and then she just took the money, and then the stock just kind of plummeted.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of people have done that. I mean, I don't want to talk on anything I don't know about, but I know for sure she did that. There's like some federal, or I don't know if it's federal, but she's going to legal problems and shit for that. But I know other people have done it too. Just people in Hollywood, they're like, I'm going to capitalize off my fame and my name, and then they get involved with people, and probably the wrong people.
Yeah, for sure. Are you a big person in crypto? Like, do you believe in that? I don't believe in it. That shit can go up, down, sideways. It don't fucking matter. It's nothing. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Wolf of Wall Street. It's fucking fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
I agree. I mean, I use digital currency because you need to. I mean, the credit scores kind of like rules our life and shit like that, but I'm kind of like against digital currency because the further we get into the future of reality itself, you can tell all the world powers want digital currency, the big banks want digital currency, and then you got the government trying to fucking prop up the stock market and shit, when in actuality, all the big banks are just constantly working against it. They want digital currency. They want to see everything you buy. They don't want you to use cash. That's why they got rid of the penny and shit like that.
That's why I think they got rid of the penny, because it was just fucking useless.
Well, why would they get rid of the penny, though? There's no precious metal in it. They don't even make it with
copper anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make it with copper anymore. It's like, in my opinion, they're going to slowly get rid of more and more change. That's my prediction in the next 10, 20 years, is you're going to see less and less increments of physical change. Like nickels will probably be the next to go.
I kind of support that actually.
And I've read books on it too. I forget the author. There's a book called The Death of the Monetary System and shit like that. So we're just slowly and unwillingly marching into a digital.
Do you believe in Big Brother?
Oh yeah.
Like that whole idea?
Oh yeah. I mean, 1984, that whole thing, I mean, that's for real, you know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason they probably want the data centers. Think about it. Why would the United States need 5 times plus more data centers than every other country in the world? It's because they're going to use Palantir and these flock cameras to fucking watch everything all the time. They're going to try to catch crimes before it happens. It's going to turn into a fucking sci-fi movie. We're going to start getting convicted for things we didn't even do yet. We read your mind. You were going to go and rob this liquor store. You know what I'm saying? It's like a preemptive strike in war.
That's kind of a crazy, like, I mean, that's not a crazy take, because they can totally do that. I mean, if the government says you did something, and, like, you did it.
Oh, look at all the people that get convicted for a wrongful rape or murder, and they're in jail for 40 years. Some dude just got out. He was wrongfully convicted of some murder. He spent, like, 35 years of his life in prison. His whole life's down the drain. Now he's old. It's like, and they just fucking get away with it. They're worth fucking trillions of dollars. They give this guy a few $1 million in a settlement. That's like they blow their nose with that every morning when they fucking open the stock market.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That I mean, and that should that's not like just like a one-off thing. Happens every 100 years. That happens all the fucking time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And you know, we're all in our own little worlds. We don't have a concept of the sheer gravity of how many people are here, even just in the United States. Like every force, or is it, what is it? Every second 4 babies are born or something like that. So 4 babies were just born. You know how many doctors, how many surgery rooms, how many? That's fucking crazy. But on a level where we can think about that with people getting their rights infringed by law enforcement and even just the government and shit. I mean, look, it happens all the time. Probably every second, just like a baby being born, to be honest with you.
You really think that's how many people are getting like locked up or whatever?
Not locked up, but I just think people that are getting screwed over, you know what I'm saying? Like, judges have so much power, life terms. I mean, I got family members that have gotten raw deals, and it's just because the judge doesn't like the way they look. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, at the end of the day, sometimes, especially when it comes down to the courts and the judicial system and shit, these fucking judges have way too much power. You know what I'm saying? I think they should have like 4-year terms, like the president, even Supreme Court. These people should not be in there for life. First of all, values of cultures change, but these people's values aren't going to change because they're how old now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I feel like part of the problem is literally that. It's that judges need shorter terms, and half of them are megalomaniacs.
What does that mean? Can you elaborate?
It's a power trip.
Okay. I mean, I agree to that. I'm not saying I don't believe in federal government, but I don't believe in fucking federal government.
Well, even the founding fathers didn't really believe in federal government. I mean, we can open this up and read it. The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, they made it to where if the government has too much power that we're supposed to take it back. But a lot of people don't realize there's an amendment in the Constitution. They amended that part of the Constitution, because in the Constitution it says if the government exceeds its power and oversteps its boundaries, the people can take the government back. They amended that. We can't do that.
And even if they didn't, there's no way that we are going to be able to revolt anymore.
No, there's no way.
At a certain point, like,
with the technology they have, and all of these UFOs are obviously theirs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do think that they've captured downed UFOs, but all the drones we were seeing, all that shit, that's Lockheed Martin and motherfuckers like that.
Like,
that's
if it came down to it that we were like, okay, we're gonna revolt against the entire government, we're gonna kill all their fucking bloodlines, we're gonna kill their women, their children, I don't see why they wouldn't just nuke everything. Like, okay, if I'm gonna fucking die and I know that I'm gonna die,
yeah,
let's just fucking kill everybody.
Well, and you know, that's the thing. And then if people do that, then you just become the same monsters that they are. So that's the thing. There's, you know, living through it, you know what I mean? But also understanding it, because all we really have all we own are thoughts. You know, we don't really own land. There's eminent domain. Do you really own your car? You don't pay your taxes. They'll come and take your fucking shit even though it's paid off. So, I mean, all you really own is what you're thinking. So you best be thinking in reality and noticing and watching the right people. And, you know, that's why I'm not a huge supporter of like mainstream news, mainstream media on both sides, because it's far left extremists, far right extremists. Nobody's talking about the truth. There's always an agenda and somebody's always making money.
Absolutely. It's just a hamster wheel of making money. You know what I mean?
And they're all friends behind closed doors. In my personal opinion, it's a uniparty. The Democrats and the Republicans, they're all doing the same thing. If you look at even some of the shit that Biden was doing, Trump's doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They're all the same type of person. They just try to project themselves as different people on their campaign trails when they're trying to run. But I mean, look at Obama. He's standing there laughing with Trump at Jimmy Carter's funeral. I mean, they don't fucking hate each other. That's all an act. It's all theater.
Yep. How much of a character can you put on? You know what I mean? And that's exactly what it is, you know? Just like you said, you know, Biden was doing shit, Trump's doing shit. I mean, I don't know. I think that all of them, to a certain degree, do work together because of the fact that if they didn't, we would have third parties that would get elected.
Well, and that's the thing that's rising in the United States. Because, you know, you can look at, and it's a new poll, 46% of registered voters are independents. They don't like the Democrats. They don't like the Republicans. They're all fucking crazy. You got one side that's communists and fucking Muslims, and the other side is just fighting wars for another country. So it's really...
That's really it.
There's no in-between. And the normal American, you know, God bless America, it's 4th of July and whatnot, but... the real Americans falling through the cracks because of all these people's vested business interests. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. Just like you were saying with Starbucks, you know, it's a very liberal company. And there's companies out there, you know, that are very Republican.
Yeah, very conservative companies as well. Yeah. So there's really like no in between. And I guess if that's your ideology and that's your life and that's what you want to support, yeah, go be a part of it. But I just think there needs to be more of an in between. It's just the farther we go into this future that we've got, it's just more and more people with extreme views. A lot of people, it's people that I was close to that I never really talked to about politics and shit, and you talk to them about shit and you're like, well, you really think that? But then you really got to backtrack and you got to think about where are these people getting their information from, and these people believe that information is correct, like major news stations and shit like that.
I have a aunt. This aunt is a fucking, like, she is one of those hard left-leaning people. And she is so close-minded to the idea of anything conservative. And I'm not saying the conservative side is the right side. I'm not saying the left is the right side.
Yeah.
But when you only believe in one thing and you only watch that sort of media and you only listen to what they say and you think that, you know, Trump is ruining our country. You know what I mean? This girl is in a legit depression because of it.
Yeah, and, you know, that's the thing. So, like, you can have your ideology, but you have to be open to understand. It's like that saying, you got to put yourself in other people's shoes. You have to have some sort of, not necessarily empathy, but I do think motherfuckers on both sides, they really do need empathy. Because, like, look at what happened when that Charlie Kirk got fucking shot in the neck and literally murdered in front of his fucking kid and his wife and all these people. And then you got people, like, cheering that he's dead on TMZ. He died and they fucking cheered and they had it on, they got it on camera, them cheering. It's such a distasteful look, but there needs to be more empathy, because you got people, you didn't say something you liked, you know what I'm saying, despite if it's wrong or right, now you're cheering that this dude got fucking executed in front of his toddler. What?
Yep. Yeah, you're cheering about that.
Yeah.
There's people TikTok dancing to it. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking crazy. At the end of the day, whether you support someone's political beliefs or you don't, it doesn't matter. That's a human being at the end of the day. I still have empathy for people all the way across the fucking world who are dying in wars and dying in starvation and all that. I have empathy for that.
I have the most empathy for them, because all those people are stuck in the middle of some shit. They didn't choose to be born there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't choose to be living in an apartment building where a terrorist group has tunnels underneath the building. They didn't fucking decide that. You know what I mean? So we do need more of that, though. And that's the one thing that, I mean, the government lacks the empathy, but because they're doing what they got to do. And if they started thinking about it like that, then they'd be like, wait a minute.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys really appreciated the free version of this episode.
It's looking bleak.
Fucking, if you guys appreciated, please like and subscribe, and drop a comment down below. If you think the government needs more empathy, you know, happy fucking 4th of July, guys. I hope you guys had a great 4th. I hope you guys have a great 4th. Do you have anything to add?
If you think McDonald's needs all-day breakfast again, also.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be a fun... Yeah, let's argue about that shit in the comments. Oh, that'd be so good. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.